Hello Ford race car fans. So I saw this 1967 Ford GT40 Mk.IV Hot Wheels here at the shop and thought it'd be a good candidate for my 3D printer. So I also knew nothing about this car. I knew about the other GT40s winning Le Mans 3 times, but not this body style. I'm not familiar with this one, so I did a little research here. And turns out this was built for Le Mans as well, and it has an all-aluminum chassis and body using honeycomb panels, and it was a no expense spared project. They spent some people think they spent $1 million to make this car back in 1966, so that's around $8 million in today's money. That's how much money they dumped into this project. And even the windshield wiper, interesting, it came from a Boeing 707 because this thing had to be, functional at 200 miles per hour. It was actually clocked at 212 miles per hour down the Mulsanne Straight at the 24 hour of Le Mans. Dan Gurney, the race car driver, did complain about the weight. It weighed 600 pounds more than the Ferrari 330 P4s it was competing against. So, but it still managed to win the race in 1967, as well as the 12 hours of Sebring. So this car was the very only all-American car at Le Mans, meaning it was an American car, championed by an American driver, backed by an American team, and built on an American chassis, powered by an American engine, and rolling on American tires. So it's the only all-American victory, I guess, according to the internet. And a total of only 6 of these Mark IVs were ever constructed, so they're quite rare, of course. Knowing Hot Wheels, this is not going to be 1/64 scale, and the reason why is I have this Ferrari P4 from Kyosho, and Kyosho is 1/64 scale, so it's way off. I'm going to pull out the calipers here and let's find out how far off it is. So according to the internet, this car is supposed to be 4,064 millimeters long. So if I measure the length of this and put that number into that number, we should get an idea of the scale, right? Unless I'm just a moron. 76.54. So if I take 4064 divide by 76.54, there we got 1/53rd scale. So it's quite large indeed, which would explain why it looks mammoth next to that Kyosho. So this is 1/53rd scale. So that's too bad if you're really picky about your scale. But well, I'm still going to review it because maybe some of you guys don't care about scale. Alright, so the wheels obviously are not accurate at all. The race car is really intricate spokes and a three-prong knockoff center cap and stuff like that. But the actual striping here on the vehicle looks pretty good. It's got these 2 bumps here that I see on the photo of the real car. There is a little inlet valve here, and there's an impression of it here. I just wish it would have had some black in there. There actually is an interior. It's just such a darkly smoked plastic. It's really hard to see the details. So there's some engine detail, pretty basic. And then, well, I think I see like a roundness of a headlamp there. So that's not bad, actually. I mean, this is an inexpensive model. So 2020, I think it's actually pretty good, quite impressive. This red though obviously doesn't match the die-cast red, but I'm not sure how much better they could have gotten it. It's pretty close. Okay, there's a little speed bump here because I believe Dan Gurney or whoever raced this was tall, so they had to accommodate his helmet to fit this. I apologize, I don't know who actually drove this car at Le Mans, at least. Okay, yeah, so I'm sure this vent is supposed to go further down for the radiator outlet, but Hot Wheels did not choose to do that very deep, so that's too bad. Okay, in the rear, got some indication and exhaust, tail lights, I guess. I guess it's alright. I mean, I'm just looking at the cost of it. The cost of it was a couple bucks, so I think it's actually pretty awesome. I mean, there's a lot of printing going on this as well. It could have just been a red car, but it's got side and top printing, so everything except for the back has color, right? So that's pretty good actually. So anyways, it's gonna be a challenge, I think, to actually print realistic looking wheels. I'm not sure if my printer can print spokes as narrow as the one on the photos of the real car, but I'll give it a shot. So give me a minute and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back with some new wheels, and I think it turned out alright. I mean, they look pretty much like the wheels in the photos. You'll notice there's some blue knockoffs in the center, and on the real car I guess they were blue on the right side of the car, and they were red on this side of the car because, you know, it's a directional threading, so they didn't want any confusion during pit changes, I guess. So other than the wheels themselves, I added a tiny bit of the black Sharpie in where the vents start. So that's about it, really. I didn't even bother painting the taillights. Maybe I should, but I got impatient. You know how it goes. Okay, so anyways, for the main thing with me is, you know, I think it does look more like the real car. And let's take a comparison photo. Look at this photo. That must have been a great day to watch, right? So let's see. Yeah, you'll notice the red knockoffs here on this side of the car. So that's what I was going for. Okay. So let's put this on my little spin coaster thingy. And there you go. Okay guys, well anyways, it seems like I'm really enjoying Hot Wheels more and more, at least the main lines, because they're inexpensive and it gives me a little project to try to improve upon, you know, what Mattel is doing. So I'm pretty happy with this result, at least. I only wish they were a little more in scale, but again, these are pretty much toys. They're designed to run down those special tracks that they make, so you got to deal with the different scales, I guess. Okay guys, appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys on the next lap.